is effectively a public service announcement about cartridge reloading for firearms, and specifically flare guns. Warning, there are 2 diameters, quote unquote, of conventional flare guns. There's actually a bunch of them. There's 37 millimeter, 26 millimeter and a half, 25 millimeter, there's variation. There's the 12 gauge, which is 22 millimeter approximately. And then there's the built-in subcaliber adapter that's used for the flare gun cartridges that honestly should be designed to be something else that unfortunately fit 50 BMG. Anyway, the shell casing does. And you got a burn time of 7 seconds versus 6 seconds for the shotgun shell one. But here we go. You can find websites that sell reloading supplies for flare guns. Now that seems like it'd be the wrong thing to use, but they're almost identical to the parts that are used for loading and reloading shotgun shells. Now, the thing I'm doing in this video is, that means that if you're looking up how to reload a shotgun or a flare gun, you're going to run into the same stuff. Look up reloading, cartridge, and the word flare, 12 gauge, and 410, because some of the tools are universal and some of them are very different, and you want to look up this information. Next, some of the varieties of this equipment are useful to you because they will include information on odd things like ballistics and forces that are employed in shotgun rounds and that sort of thing. Those orange ones, by the way, for the Orion flare guns, please don't reload them unless you really want to. Now, if you look up how to reload that particular one, because of the fact that this is a waste of plastic, you can buy these pieces, that little piece there. But I want to point out this thing. Yeah, it's almost the same thing as the thing in it. In fact, the reloading sights for pen launcher, that's the other thing you type in, it's called a pen launcher, not a flare gun. It's used for firing salute rounds, basically little tiny fireworks. And the reason those are used is those are called hunter signals in Russia. And yes, that is literally a double barrel pen gun that's street legal for firing these. And yeah, that is basically a 22 caliber thing. It's a screw top, and it's a very durable item. It's supposed to be reloadable, and they were effectively pioneered in Russia so that people wouldn't try putting 12 gauge shotgun shells into a flare gun. They had enough accidents, they're like, you know what, this is stupid. It shouldn't be able to chamber a 12 gauge, that's dumb. So let's make it something crazy tiny. So what they did again is they made it to where it would chamber something, it's actually a different size than 22, but it's basically almost a 22. And it then is using a blank, or in this case, a shotgun primer, to launch it. That's almost exactly what's being done by the flare guns here. They have almost no propellant down here. It's supposed to ignite the propellant and make it go out of there. And you notice the diameters? Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So you can do reloading of flare guns if you want to. Please ignore the Fiocchi rounds on the left that are crazy dangerous to put in a flare gun. You can also just buy a better flare gun. I'm not really happy with Olin making this 12 gauge compatible. Anyway, and it didn't help that Fiocchi actually put out a shell that would fit it perfectly. So anyway, now that's the public notice, consumer protection thing. And yeah, if you look up American Specialty Ammo, they show you how to make these aluminum cased ones that are made obviously for the larger ones into basically you can use them to technically launch fireworks. Check your local laws and rules. Certain times of the year it's okay, but remember, if you send up a distress signal and you weren't trying to get help, that's a fake distress signal, and you can be in trouble with that. Now, why am I bringing this up? Let's talk about reloading something completely different now. That is a reloading kit somebody created. Yeah, he's charging $74 for it, but you can make one. And it's made by milling a piece of aluminum, not steel, and putting together a reloading kit. But you may have noticed over there in Russian, again, is part of a reloading kit and several pieces of one from Russia that might be cheaper. And then there's hand reloading kit right there, dead middle. That's using little mallets and stuff. Now, how do they do that? I mean, don't you have to do all sorts of special things to the top of the shell? You might want to notice the type of shell being reloaded. I wanted to bring this up. A lot of people out there want to be able to have sustainable ability to have a 12 gauge shotgun or a 410. So 12 gauge reloading tools and materials. You look up tools because if you look up materials, you'll get the wrong spaces. Next, we go to 410 reloading tools. Oh, look, it's a bunch of metal pipe and tubing and stuff. Yeah, you can make these. You can look up videos on this. And again, you can do this manually or with a press or whatever. But again, emphasis added, you may have noticed there's something amiss here. Now, there's the 12 gauge flare cartridge reloading again. I just brought that up. I'm sorry. But here we go. 410 full brass shotgun cartridges are just blown out 303s. Well, not really. But you can get cartridges. You can resize them. You can heat them up with a blowtorch and anneal them and then resize them to be completely compatible. And you can also just buy them. There's a 3-inch 410 bore shotgun cartridge that's eminently reloadable. It only has a little crimp at the end. You don't have to crimp them. And again, emphasis added, you can do the same thing with 12 gauge. Now, why am I bringing this up? Just like the annoying anti-sustainability of a plastic cartridge being kind of a bugaboo with a lot of people because it takes 10,000 years for it to decay and turn back into whatever we got it from. For a flare gun, this is the same thing for shotguns. And yes, that's Midway USA's video up on YouTube, reloading 10 gauge, oh my god, brass shotgun shells. They also sell the 12 gauge. You can buy 12 gauge shotgun shells that are designed on purpose to be reloaded. And you can use hand tools to reload them. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is the simple question at the beginning. Flare guns use a sub-sized or basically really short shotgun cartridge. And if you follow the instructions for it, you can just use that to do the same thing. And you can use the materials from other websites to do the same thing. They will work fine. But you have to get the one that actually is made for firing out of a real 12 gauge shotgun if you really want to use that flare gun. And again, emphasis added again, if you want to get a flare gun cheaper, you buy what's called a bear banger. It fires a noise grenade up in the air. They're actually kind of dangerous, but you can get one that way. It's $30 instead of $100. And you can also get the Russia-approved version here, which I'm going to click on, that is designed on purpose to be, again, very reloadable. It's eminently reloadable. It uses something that doesn't look anything like a gun, so it wouldn't cause confusion or anybody to accidentally hurt you. And it uses basically the same parts that you would find, well, in a 20 caliber zip gun, but it has a legit reason to exist. And you might be asked, can you put a 22 in that? And you say no. And you show them that empty on the left, and you got a perfectly street legal toy gun-like thing that's a lot safer. And yeah, you can make it to where it has a handle on it and make it, and you can rearrange it to where it actually works as a little pistol. It just looks like a little double-barrel shotgun almost. But the point is, I'm making about this video is, you can make these things not wasteful, not garbage grade. You can use 1800s technology, use brass casings, that sort of thing. I'm very much advocating for this because you can make your own reloading kit and tools. It's not really complicated. And you can buy the replacement components or just remake others. Taurus George, 410 shotgun / 45 long Colt. Well, these are ultra long Colt cartridges. Think about it. Lots of cartridges fit that, even the neck downs there that are being blown out. And with the 12 gauge, again, these were made originally to be reloaded. We have a wasteful society, let's fix that. And yeah, you can make reloading and resizing dies, and the brass will tolerate it better, and you can heat anneal it to resize it, and then heat it up and then cool it rapidly, or just use it as is. And you can get away with having a lot less waste. Now, warning, buying empty containing hulls like that, a lot of them are made with the non-compatible large pistol primer. You want to use ones like that one there, the Oath Tango 12 gauges that use normal shotgun primers. Shotgun primers and propellant powder are things that are regulated. Metal objects, specifically metal objects made of brass, are not as regulated. And they are shotgun shells. But these are sold as empty brass, never fired materials. Therefore, they're a lot less troublesome to ship. And you can do the same thing with 410s as well. Companies make them. This has been flare guns, shotguns, and what to do and what not to do if you want to reload. And again, I'm going to emphasize added, do not reload a flare gun cartridge unless it's literally just a shotgun cartridge. and buy only the equipment and materials that are street legal in your area to do that with. You don't want to do this. These are incendiary devices. Reloading an incendiary is double or triple the amount of danger to you and everybody around you, rather than putting in smokeless powder that's been safe for 100 years and having it just be a shotgun shell. Next, you can get the reloading kits, but warning, you're going to be on the FBI list immediately because these are dangerous. Not because they think you're scary, but because you're doing something that really isn't necessary if they would lower the prices. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.